In the wisdom of the Enneagram, Riso and Hudson say, one of the profound lessons of the Enneagram is that psychological integration and spiritual realization are not separate processes. Without spirituality, psychology cannot really free us or lead us to the deepest truths about ourselves. And without psychology, spirituality can lead to grandiosity, delusion, and an attempt to escape from reality. The Enneagram is neither dry psychology nor fuzzy mysticism, but a tool for transformation that uses the clarity and insight of psychology as a point of entry into the profound and universal spirituality. Thus, in a literal sense, the Enneagram is the bridge between psychology and spirituality. The core of this sacred psychology is that our basic type reveals the psychological mechanisms by which we forget our true nature, our divine essence, the way in which we abandon ourselves. Our personalities draw upon the capacities of our inborn temperament to develop defenses and compensations for where we have been hurt in childhood. In order to survive whatever difficulties we encountered at that time, we unwittingly mastered a limited repertoire of strategies, self-images, and behaviors that allowed us to cope with and survive in our early environment. Each of us, therefore, has become an expert at a particular form of coping, which, if used excessively, also becomes the core of dysfunctional area of our personality. As the defenses and strategies of our personality become more structured, they cause us to lose contact with our direct experience, ourselves, our essence. The personality becomes the source of our identity rather than contact with our being. Our sense of ourselves is based increasingly on internal images, memories, and learned behaviors rather than on spontaneous expression of our true nature. This loss of contact with our essence causes deep anxiety, taking the form of one of the 9 passions. Once in place, these passions, which are usually unconscious and invisible to us, begin to drive the personality. Understanding our personality type and its dynamics, therefore, offers an especially potent approach to the unconscious, to our wounds and compensations, and ultimately to our healing and transformation. The Enneagram shows us where our personality most trips us up. It highlights both what is possible for us as well as how self-defeating and unnecessary many of our old reactions and behaviors are. This is why when we identify with the personality, we are settling on being much less than who we really are. It is as though we are given a mansion to live in with rich furnishings and beautifully kept grounds, but have confined ourselves to a small dark closet in the basement. Most of us have even forgotten that the rest of the mansion exists or that we are really its owner. As spiritual teachers through the ages have pointed out, we have fallen asleep to ourselves and to our own lives. Most of the day we walk around preoccupied by ideas, anxieties, worries, and mental pictures. Seldom are we present to ourselves and to our immediate experience. As we begin to work on ourselves, however, we begin to see that our attention has been taken or magnetized by the preoccupations and features of our personality, and that we are actually sleepwalking through much of life. This view of things is contrary to common sense and often feels insulting to the way we see ourselves, as self-determining, conscious, and in control. At the same time, our personality is not bad. Our personality is an important part of our development and is necessary for the refinement of our essential nature. The problem is that we become stuck in personality and do not know how to move on to the next phase. This is not the result of any inherent flaw in ourselves. Rather, it is an arrested development that occurs because almost no one in our formative years was aware that any more was possible. Our parents and teachers may have had some glimmers of their true nature, but like us, they generally did not recognize them, much less live as expressions of them. Thus, one of the most transformational insights that the Enneagram can provide is the realization that we are not our personality. To begin to grasp this is to undergo a transformation of our sense of self. When we begin to understand that we are not our personality, we also begin to realize that we are spiritual beings who have a personality and who are manifesting themselves through that personality. When we stop identifying with our personality and stop defending it, a miracle happens. Our essential nature spontaneously arises and transforms us.